What's up guys, Boogie Buck again. So guys, I have a few videos we're gonna be going through. And the first video, this black lady, she's talking about how some women, not all, some women are really addicted to the bad boys, to the hood dudes, to the gangsters, to the drug dealers. And we have seen this movie play out so many times. But every time men talk about it, some women claim it's not, it doesn't happen, it's not true, but it's just so good. And I'm glad it's a lady talking about it. Because if it was a man pointing this out, they would say he hates women. That those are always some of the things they like to talk about. They like to call men sassy and gay every time men try to hold them accountable. Obviously, they're gonna call her a pick me. They're gonna say it's not true. They're gonna say nice guys are not really nice. They're just faking it. But she's going to show us why. She's gonna give us reasons why women like the bad boys over the good guys. So without further ado, let's go.
Fetish with street dudes because we mistake them as being more masculine. I really wish that women would stop putting street dudes on a pedestal. And I mean, you see how Glorilla's song, she was talking about the type of dude that she wanted, and that's cool because she's selling you an illusion. And don't get me wrong, I love that song. I like Glorilla, but she's giving you, she's romanticizing and sexualizing the type of guy that you keep saying that you don't want. If we actually held ourselves accountable for the type of men that we chose, I don't think we would keep romanticizing men that are in survival mode. I've actually never dated a street guy that was very protective. It's a complete myth that they're more masculine and more protective, and they're actually more combative.
Yeah, because they gotta look out for themselves. Because they usually have beefs with other street dudes, so he knows anytime he may get shot or he may run into his ops. So obviously they're going to be combative in that sense, because they know they engage in types of activities that are not conducive for the normal person. So, but first of all, she's a good looking lady. Don't get me wrong. She has, maybe there's a filter, obviously some makeup, but maybe good lighting. But you can tell that she's a pretty attractive chocolate sister. But shout out to her, man, because it's so refreshing to just hear a black woman call out other women. Because if it was a man saying this, they would just say, "Oh, you're so weak." Oh, actually, they these days they even say the good guys are not really good guys; they're just pretending to be good. But shout out to this lady; she is cooking.
And they lack a lot of emotional maturity because they're in survival mode. They're not trying to love you. I don't care how many black movies that they create where the love is so toxic, and then for some reason, especially in the black community, we romanticize these toxic relationships, and then we romanticize these guys and say that we want this Russell Wilson Sierra type of love, but we're never going to get there if we keep talking about we want a hood dude.
There is nothing wrong with wanting a good guy like Russell Wilson. But the problem comes when, ladies, you choose to want the Russell Wilson kind of guy. Years later, couple kids later, couple baby daddies later, and then you want the normal guy, the good guy who has no kids, who has never committed a crime, to accept you the way you are. But it's like you didn't want him then. You chose the hood dudes. But now you want me after not having any kids, after just doing me and doing the right thing, after not looking cool enough for you. Couple years later, now you want me to accept that you have changed and you're a changed woman and you know better, you are mature enough. That's the only issue most guys have. It's like, okay, you did your thing, you had couple kids by a couple pookies. Okay, fine, you're a changed woman, but that doesn't mean men should be forced to accept you. Because you obviously, even if you're a changed woman, doesn't mean you're going to accept a guy who has no job, right?
Especially if you're not a hood chick, they see you as naive and gullible. Don't let the hype fool you where they're like, "Oh, you're wifey material because you speak a certain way and dress a certain way." The only difference is that hood chicks know exactly what type of time a street dude is on. There is nothing
Do
that I don't
they?
understand about a person that can analyze, observe you, and know how to get what they want from you because where they're from, there's less resources. Their survival mode makes you navigate differently through life. And I know this because I've experienced this. If you don't come from struggle, the way you view the world in relationships are just different. So if you're from the suburbs and people, and, you speak a certain way, you have a certain disposition and demeanor. Trust me, you do not align with no street dude, and they see you as silly. And
I mean, everything she's saying is right. The only issue is how long does it take for the ladies to learn this information? Because we have seen so many times women preaching how mature they are, how quickly they mature faster than men, faster than boys. How emotionally intelligent they are. How much they've gone to school and they have all these degrees. But for some reason, they realize street dudes, hood dudes, gangsters, drug dealers, criminals are not good men until they have couple babies later and they're 45. It's like, how can you be so smart and you have all these degrees and you have the female intuition, but it took you this long to realize that hood dudes are not good for you? So shout out to her. First of all, if we go through the comments, some ladies are going to agree, some ladies are probably going to call her a pick me, you know. See, exactly what I just said. So the first guy in the comments says, "Oh, so now you all want to talk about this shit. When women talk about it, this is you called us lame." And that is true. When men point out things that women do or that they like who dudes, they call the normal guys corny, they call them lames, they call them not cool or boring because the normal guy is not going to have to give a woman the emotional roller coaster up and down and this and that. The normal guy is not going to be able to achieve that. But the hood dude, today he's there, tomorrow he's not there. The street dude, I don't even want to say just hood, but the street dude, like she said, tomorrow he's available. Tomorrow he doesn't pick her calls. He doesn't buy no flowers. Street dudes are not buying no flowers. Now they may spend money and buy all these bags and take the women out and spend money on them or give them even cash, but it's like they don't do all these romantic things. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? All right, second comment. Us men do it too. We want a fine 3 or 4 to be a good housewife. It's not gonna happen. A 3 or 4 will be a 3 or 4 without a man. I mean, this could be kind of true, but most, in my opinion, men who want a fine woman but they know she's for the streets, they just want her. They're not trying to wife her. Now they may think they may not want her to mess with other men, but deep down they know. And usually, most men are not trying to wife up a 3 or 4 unless they don't know any better. But at the end of the day, I think all these issues stem from the fact that we most of us didn't grow up in two-parent households to teach us how to choose partners. We didn't see that good, nice, loving relationship between our moms and our dads, if we're going to be honest. All right, one more comment. If a woman calls you boring, then you are living correctly. That's true. They call the good guys nerds, corny, uncool, things like that. And then they realize later that maybe the good guy is the guy for me. But it's like you have a couple babies, but now you want the good guy to be a stepdad. And if he doesn't want to be a stepdad, then you say he hates women and things like that. It's crazy out here, but shout out to this lady, pretty good looking lady. So I know she gets plenty of options, plenty of guys in the DMs. I may send her a DM maybe in 10 years' time. All right, next we have this lady. She's complaining like they all do. Now she's filing for divorce, and she's gonna tell us why she's filing for divorce from a man. Let's go.
So my husband and I, we filed for divorce today. We went to the courthouse. We had all our papers, and we get up to the clerk, and she's like, "Oh, we don't do like papers anymore. You have to e-file it." So we e-filed it, and then after we were walking out the courthouse, we were just like, "This is such a weird fucking feeling," you know? Like just to have like 3.5, almost 4 years of your relationship summed up into e-filings was just very. It was low key like sad for us, you know. But afterwards, we went to lunch and we explained to our daughter, like, hey, mommy and daddy are not going to be together anymore. You're going to be going with mommy. We're going to be staying at BB's house. BB is her grandma. And, daddy's going to come out and visit you, and you and mommy are going to come out and visit daddy. And it's just, that's going to be our new dynamic.
I think this is a new trend because we have been seeing a trend of women celebrating becoming single moms, and now they are celebrating. Because for me, this is a celebration. She doesn't seem like she's upset at all, But the new thing now is women talking about how they're getting divorced. Because I can guarantee you, we're gonna go through the comments, but the comments are not going to be holding her accountable. Like, why are you breaking up a family and happy about it? The comments are gonna be talking about, you go, girl, you deserve better. Know your worth. That's what the comments are gonna be saying. It's like there is more videos of such talking about divorces and why you should divorce a man and how to file a divorce and things like that, more than videos of celebrating marriage, if we're gonna be honest. So there is more of this that promotes breaking up families more than videos promoting marriage. And it's sad. It's going downhill.
Of course, she didn't really grasp it. She was only about to be 3. She was just like, "Oh yay! Like I'm going to BB's
Of
house to
course.
get the rest of the conversation." But then me and my husband are talking, and we're just like, "This is kind of sad." But then I asked him, I'm like, "Is it weird or like is it bad that I'm excited to see what the next chapter of our lives
See,
look like?"
I told you. They are excited about divorce. They are excited about having kids without the dad's present. In fact, some of them say they would rather be pregnant than be married because they see marriage as slavery. But being a single mom and doing it all by yourself, they don't see an issue with that. And the thing is, it may not affect her, it may not affect the dad. And I'm gonna be honest, I honestly think she's the one who came up with the idea of divorce because we know 80% of divorces are filed by women. We know that stat. Very, because most times men don't want to break up their family, even if they're in a sexless marriage. Most guys don't want to file for divorce because they know the moment he files for divorce, he won't be able to see his kids on a consistent basis because now it's going to be the woman being awarded custody 90% of the time. So most guys don't want to do that, on top of child support, maybe alimony and things like that. But that's one of the number one reasons most guys don't want to file for divorce. But they're excited about divorce. Because I can guarantee you, she's making a video about divorce, but she didn't make a video about marriage and being excited about a marriage when they got married.
Without each other. And he's like, "No, because in all honesty, I'm fucking excited to see that too. Like, what is the future going to bring for the both of us,
She's lying.
especially now that we're not together?" Because of course, when you get married, you're not thinking about divorce. Everything that you plan after you get married consists of, okay, what are you and I going to do together? So it's so weird having to think of like just my daughter and I. I'm just glad that we figured out that we would be way better off as friends than we'd be fucking married. Our marriage was
This is
very like
crazy.
it was up and down, but mainly like it was a lot of arguments, a lot of tit for tat, just like petty shit going on. So the fact that we can actually be like super civil about this and just knowing that the future holds so much great things for the both of us still is it's good, but at the same time, bitch, this is weird. Don't get married.
See, her last message is don't get married. Like I said, for me, I don't care what adults do, but I know at the end of the day, this affects the kids. Because the little girl is going to grow up without a father in the house. And from that moment, the girl is going to be emotionally scarred. So how is the little girl going to grow up in a house without a dad? And then somebody's going to convince her that she needs a man. All that, the importance of marriage. How is she ever going to learn? Because she's growing up without seeing it. Because this lady said her daughter is 3 years old. So the daughter is going to grow up without a dad in the house. If she's lucky, she may get a stepdad, but with her mindset, I don't think she's going to be able to attract and even keep a man in a marriage again. Because her mindset is, I can just easily divorce. That's why people who are divorced once, the rates are higher for them to go to get divorced again, because to them it's like, I did it the first time, I can do it the second time, I can easily divorce, because that means the vows they say when they get married don't mean shit. That means they can always divorce anytime, the second time easier. You feel me? So for me, this really hurts me because I know it's gonna affect the kids. It's not affecting her. It's gonna affect her in some way, but mostly the kids. But let's go through the comments because I know the comments are gonna agree. Look, see? I knew it. Look at the first comment. I left mine when I knew it was down 18 years ago. We left court and went to eat. I dropped him off at home and we raised our daughter, and she's now about to be a nurse in a couple months. Sometimes people are better off as friends. I don't have a single regret. Now, obviously, if there's physical abuse, that okay, sure. Don't leave. Don't stay in a marriage where you're getting physically punched and shit like that. But let's be honest. This woman didn't say she was being abused. It's about, oh, we were fighting and stuff like that. But you can see in the comments they are celebrating divorce because misery loves company. So if she makes a video celebrating a divorce, it's gonna attract other women who believe in divorce, who believe in breaking up families. Sure, you've raised your daughters to go to school and become a nurse. Thank you for raising an independent woman. But guess what? She didn't see you married for the time you were raising her. So chances are she's gonna become a single mom like you. Or if she's lucky enough to be married, she's gonna divorce her husband just like you, because if mommy did it and it's okay, if it doesn't make me happy, I'm gonna divorce him as well. So the generational curse, the cycle continues. Look, you're both so mature. Blessings on your new journey, and may you continue to communicate on this level. Now, I'm glad. Usually we see these videos, and the woman is trashing the ex-husband or the man, saying all the nasty things. So I'll give her some credit because I like to give credit where credit is due. I'll give her credit for not trashing the guy or saying the nasty things about him. How you're going to tell this lady what she should do? You all don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We don't, but coming on the internet to celebrate divorce is not the way to go. But anyway, what do you guys think about that? You know, do you guys think this message of divorce is gonna help families and marriages, or is it just gonna be an excuse for people to just get divorced? All right, next we're gonna go all the way to Kendra G, man. You guys love when I react to our channel, so here's some more. Let's go. Hold on. Okay.
Is your name Jazzy?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Where you calling me from, Jasmine?
Houston.
Houston. I was in Houston 2 weeks ago. I went to Kirby and Chapman.
Chapman and Kirby.
I lived my best life at Chapman and Kirby.
Yeah, I was just there Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. It was on a Sunday.
Mhm.
I had a great time. I had a great time in Houston. I don't want to move there, but it was a great weekend.
Well, I've been here like 18 years almost, or yeah, 18 years. So I came here for college. So yeah.
How old are you?
I just turned 37 yesterday.
Okay. Do you have any children?
I do not.
No kids. Have you ever been married? Jasmine? Hello?
Yeah. Sorry, my phone is like dying. Can you see me?
Yes. Do you have any? Have you ever been
Okay.
married?
No.
No. And what do you do for a living?
I own a tax office and I'm a realtor.
Okay. And what's your zodiac sign?
Pisces.
I want to say this. There was a lot of men in Houston. I didn't go outside in Houston. It was men everywhere.
I be outside, but I don't know. I think it's just that I know too many people at this point here, and I know too much of people's business.
Or maybe it's your character, mama. Ladies, you gotta look into the mirror. You gotta look in the mirror. Because she's a good looking lady. So, if you're in a city, a good looking lady, 37, I'm sure men have been throwing themselves at you since you turned 18. But you still can't keep one. You gotta look in the mirror, ladies.
That I don't want to know, and so that's like, it could be a turn off for me.
Happens at times. Okay, well let's continue. Jasmine Houston, Pisces, 37, owns her own tax office, is a realtor, no kids, never married. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
I like generous men, and not just necessarily financially or whatever, you know. Definitely love gifts, but I just
Mama, you don't have to add the explanation. We know generous man means a rich man who's willing to give you and spend money on you. Stop with the BS. Don't try to lie. Generous means you want a guy to spend money on you.
want
That's it. We
somebody
get
that's
it.
like in tune with me, and you know, they keep me top of mind, and you know, yeah.
Generous, but you know, you started off with generous child. So just give us examples of what generous means to you.
So generous could you know, just I guess more so like thoughtful. Like even if I'm at work and I'm like, you know, I'm busy, so I may not even have time to order me some lunch. Just order me some lunch or something, you know. And then of course, you know, we like gifts around here.
What kind of gifts?
Flowers.
Let's break it down so to make it understand. What
Flowers.
kind of gifts do we like?
Um, I like thoughtful gifts. So it's like, you know, I'm the type person when I'm with somebody and I pay attention to the things that they like, things that will make them happy. You know what I'm saying? So I would like the same in return.
Is there give me a hardcore example of the type of gift?
A hardcore example of
Give me an example of the type of gift so the guys can understand. Because listen, when we put out generous and money, some men just can't afford it, so they got to know if this is a tax bracket or not.
yeah, definitely want someone who can afford it. Money matters.
Every woman wants a man who can afford her. And afford her means spending money on the things she likes, not what you like. So let's say you like a certain food spot that has like a $15 plate or something. You're gonna you want to grab tacos. For her, it means you gotta be able to take her to a $200 dinner date. Some of them even want $500 dinner dates. So when they say afford her, you gotta be willing and ready to spend money on whatever she likes. So we are talking trips. These days traveling is something they use, or even paying her bills. So I'm not surprised she says she has been single and there are no men in Dallas, because clearly any man who hears this, it's all about me, 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 me. Most guys are gonna run, even the ones with money.
Definitely.
Well, let's get there early. We started off with that. How much money he got to make to date you, Jasmine?
Here we go.
Ooh. I don't think I can necessarily say a number, but I mean, guys that I've dated in the past, majority of them are, if not a millionaire, definitely a couple hundred thousandaires.
But for some reason, you haven't been able to keep any of them. Sure, I'll give it to you. You're a good-looking lady, so I believe so that maybe you have run into some millionaires, but you didn't keep any of them. What does that tell you, Mama? Think.
Okay. Why didn't you stay with any of those men?
Good question.
Most of the reasons were cheating, most of them. But
Duh.
also one in particular, we were both just way too emotional to be in the same space. Like he was emotional, I was emotional. It was just too many emotions going on at the same time. It's just like we have to have balance, and there was no balance.
Right. So even though they had the money, what you said, millionaires are well in the six figures, it wasn't enough to keep you because they were still cheating, right?
Yeah, I don't do that.
Right. So with this being said, shouldn't that matter more
Exactly.
than the money? Because we already realized the money could be there, but if the infidelity is there, it doesn't matter. It like cancels it out.
Now,
And that's the thing that ladies don't think about. And I think because Kendra has been doing this show for so long, she's starting to realize the pattern, right? That all of them want these rich guys. But remember, we don't have enough rich guys to go around. So if all the women want the six-figure plus guys, because she says she has dealt with some millionaires, most women would die to meet a millionaire. So if the guy knows all these women want me, cheating is inevitable, because she's a good-looking woman. But I can guarantee you, those millionaires will meet even better looking women, and maybe they are more feminine than you. Maybe they can cook better than you. So it's like they want a rich guy who's 6 feet tall, who goes to church 7 days a week and cannot cheat, and they don't do nothing for him, and they expect him to stay, loyal to them.
Now that I'm older, I do believe in respectful cheating.
Ooh,
I should know absolutely nothing about it. So if you don't know how to keep it under wraps, then that's a problem. I honestly feel like all men cheat.
not
Wow,
all,
this is
but
the first on my show. Respectful
finally.
cheating. So this is cheating where you don't, he's cheating so well, it doesn't get back to you.
Mhm.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you this. First of all, let me tell you why it's hard for men to respectfully cheat, because it's not the men, it's the girls. The girls
Yeah.
are the ones telling, not the guy. The girls are the ones because side chicks don't want to be on the side. And they
What
want
I
you
will
to know that your man was with her. So she's going to be in your DM. She's going to be in your comment section. So it's almost impossible. And I'm not saying whether I agree with this or not, but it's hard for a man to cheat in peace unless he's with a woman who essentially is cheating on her man, so therefore she ain't gonna rig the game because she cheating on somebody too. But if y'all ever notice, it's always the women that go and tell the other women.
Yeah, because they want to take the spot. They want to be the main one. Because side chicks know if they tell the main girl that your man is cheating, the main girl is gonna get pissed off and she's gonna break up with a guy. She'll be like, how dare you cheat on me? I'm not gonna be with you anymore. And guess what? Who's gonna become the main one? The side chick. Obviously, the cycle is gonna keep going because now if the main girl goes and the side chick becomes the main girl, the rich guy is definitely gonna find a new side chick. So I don't know why they never think about that part. But at the end of the day, at least this woman is saying, listen, you know what? I now know rich guys are never gonna be they're never gonna be faithful, so I don't mind a guy who's gonna cheat as long as he has money.
So I've actually never had a woman come to me as a woman, and I don't go looking for it.
So how did you find out
So,
about the other guys?
like I said,
I mean,
how I
other
know,
girls. Other girls.
huh? Oh, my biggest thing is I pay attention to people's patterns. So if you acting a little funny, then I'm gonna find out. And another thing is I really gatekeep my relationships. Like you'll damn near never know when I'm in a relationship.
And
But
real quick, for clarity,
That tells me she cheats too. Because if she's saying people will never know if she's in a relationship, that means she acts single. She'll be in a relationship, but she'll be single. She'll act single, which means she's gonna attract guys. Because I'm not saying if a guy knows that a woman is in a relationship, it will stop him from making an approach. But most times, men are less likely to approach a woman who's in a relationship. You know what I mean? So she knows she likes the attention because, like I said, she's a good looking woman. She likes the attention. So guess what? She's gonna act when she's with you, she's going to act single so she can keep getting the attention. Or maybe she can get your replacement ready in case she leaves you, she wants to replace you with another guy. That's why she acts single and people can't tell if she's in a relationship when she is.
were these men you guys were exclusive or were you dating?
mm-hmm, exclusive.
So again, so a guy you was exclusive to that major salary. How did you find out he was cheating?
Well, I've found out on social media on accident. I was also dating one guy. Well, I was in a relationship with him, and some friends of mine were at a water park, and they saw him and his baby mom that I knew nothing about. Who,
Y'all were in a relationship?
yes, and the baby was 2 years old.
How long were y'all in a
Um,
relationship for?
oh, by that time, about so he got her pregnant a month after we met.
So how long were you,
So
for
we
two
were about
years?
3 years in at this point.
So y'all were spending holidays and everything together?
We spent everything together. Now it was long distance, and I would travel to his house every other weekend. They lived in the same building in the same apartment complex. Never heard a peep
Well,
about
that's
this
easy to cheat
girl.
when you're long distance, honey.
Well, yeah, but this is the thing. I was there every week, every other week, and the
So that
girl
you
lived
was
on
there
this.
twice a month.
I was say that again.
You was there twice a month?
And the
So how
girl
many
lived on the
days?
same hallway as him and everything, and I never knew about this girl.
How many days were you at when you would go? The weekends?
About 4 days.
So you were with him 8 days out of a 30-day month calendar.
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, so girl, that was easy to cheat on you with.
But I
But those are the guys that like anyway. because he had money. Because no one can tell me this woman would be willing to travel to a guy who doesn't have money. I'm not even going to say broke, just the average guy, average 60, 70, $50,000 guy. She's not going to travel for you. She's not going to, want to be with you or even exclusive. So the only reason she was willing to travel for that guy is because he was rich or he was spending money or a millionaire, like she was saying. She's not doing all those things for the average guy. Also, don't forget that some of those rich guys, they have characteristics of a guy who gets plenty of women. So these women know the type of guy who gets women and the type of guy who doesn't get any play from women. Let's be honest. The same way men can see a woman, the way I can see her and say, okay, I think she gets plenty of options from men because she's good looking. Women can also look at a guy and tell if he gets plenty of women. So for her to act like as if she doesn't know that type of guy was gonna have women on the side is just trying to play victim, trying to play, like as if she doesn't know what the game is. They know when they approach those guys that okay, this type of guy, he probably gets plenty of women.
The girl was right next door, basically, and I knew
He
nothing
might
about
be
it.
okay with it. Maybe. Well, no, but 8 days, girl, you're 8 days. I mean, I don't even know. You might have
No, I get
skipped
it.
a day, but you weren't even in the same city.
I know. Now, that was a few years ago. I have definitely grown from that. But and I haven't dated in a few years, just because I'm just tired of guys. But not that I want girls, but I'm just taking time. I've been taking time for myself. But
You're not tired of guys. You're just tired of the fact that the guys who want you are not making the kind of money that you think a good guy should be making. Because I know you get plenty of guys. You look good, so I know you get plenty of guys DMing you and approaching you in real life. But the reason you're tired of guys is because the millionaires that you had a chance with, you think you still deserve those guys. And that's the issue that some women run into. So, because a woman may meet a millionaire, he will fly her out, do all these nice things for her, buy her gifts, taking her to expensive dinner dates, taking on nice trips, right? But once they break up, that woman is forever going to think she deserves only millionaire kind of guys. So when Boogie approaches her without the millions of dollars, she's not going to see anything in me. Even if I'm the nicest guy, even if I'm going to buy 1,000 flowers on the first date, she won't give Boogie a chance because she's used to dating millionaires. Now she thinks because she once dated a millionaire, she's only supposed to date millionaires. And by the time she wakes up and she's 55, she's like, where did all the good guys go? So when they ask where did all the good men go, they are literally asking where did all the rich guys go? Not just the good guys, because there's plenty of good guys. Not we just don't have plenty of rich guys.
um, there's just so many different ways that I have found out
Okay,
that
well, anyways, long story short, you believe all men cheat. So the rule is he has to respectfully cheat if he's going to cheat, which means it never gets back to you.
And he has to have money.
Okay. Are you going to respectfully cheat too?
No, I'm not a cheater.
So
She's
you
lying.
loyal.
She's lying.
Yep.
All right.
Look at her smile. Look at her smile. She's definitely lying. Nobody is gonna tell me this woman doesn't have plenty of men.
Deal breakers.
It's gonna sound crazy, but a liar.
Cheater would be a liar.
I know that. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm just trying, like, I know that's why I said it sounds crazy, but like, again, if you're gonna lie, make it believable. Like,
Let me say this though, not to cut you off. All men don't cheat, ladies. So
no,
I think that what's happening is ladies are starting to make deals for the certain type of guy they want. Because
you know what?
go ahead.
I have dated I have been with two guys. The last two people that I dated actually did not cheat.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take it back. But I do believe the greater majority of them cheat. I think it's very
a lot of guys that y'all want cheat. Like a lot of guys that y'all want cheat because
Thanks,
this guy
Kendra.
might have so many options. Because you already said you want a man who does well financially, from 7 figures, a millionaire, or high 6 figures. So that guy just has a lot of options.
Yeah.
And listen, there's no judgment, right? You know, if you want to make a deal because This is the man you want to be with. It's your life, it's your world. But I do want to just say, in defense of men, there are men who literally are okay with being with one woman, but sometimes y'all really don't want those guys.
Because they don't make money. It is what it is. What they want. So I think the type of guy women really want is a rich guy, but with the options of a broke guy. So they want a guy who has all the money and willing to spend it. Because some of you guys get this wrong. You think a woman just wants a rich guy. No, they want a rich guy who's willing to spend the money. She doesn't care if you have $10 million, but you're only going to send her $100. She's gonna look at it like, you have all these millions. Why are you not buying me a $3,000 bag, Chanel bag? So you gotta be willing to spend it. But what they want is to get Elon Musk and give him Boogie's standards and options. So you see how I don't have plenty of women running for me and want me and things like that? They would want Boogie to have millions of dollars and not have any woman want Boogie and just focus on her. And it's never gonna happen.
For whatever reason, not saying you have to, but I just don't want it to be, well, every man cheats, so let me just accept this. It's really not a fact. There's men that don't cheat.
That's true. Like I said, I did recently was in relationships with two guys the last two guys I was in a relationship, they did not cheat.
What happened with those guys?
The first one, that was the one that we were just way too emotional for each other. The second one, he had very low self-esteem.
Oh my God.
And PTSD from his kid's mom. And so I started getting accused of, not necessarily accused, but slightly accused of being like his kid's mom.
Okay, we'll keep it going.
You guys notice that most women, I would even say like 98%, I'm gonna say 98%, that if you ever asked her, if you want to know if a woman is truthful, if she has been in 10 relationships, ask her what happened. If she blames the guy 7 out of 10 times that the guy was the issue, you better run for your life. Because guess what? When she breaks up with you, she's going to blame you. When she's talking to other people about you, she's going to say you are the problem. To most women, they are never the issue. It's always the man. It's just interesting to me.
Because I feel like we got so many conversations, I'm not even getting to my questions. All right, so any more deal breakers besides lying?
She's full of herself.
I mean, even if you're not high six figures, at least, be secure, steady, have a good life.
Can a man that makes, I'm sorry, say it again.
I said, and have ambition.
Okay. Can a man that makes $70K date you?
No. That's a no. If she even has to think about a man making 70,000, that's a no. Look at Kendra's face. Kendra's face tells it all. Look at the way she's looking in the sky. Like as if $70,000 is really the top 20%, maybe top 25% of all earners in America. And she's looking at 70,000 like that's broke for me. Guys, we are cooked. Look at her. That's a no.
I'll consider it.
Consider?
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
The nerve.
Chocolate. Has his body together for the most part. Not like super, I don't like a gym rat. But just be, don't be looking crazy like you might have, diabetes or anything like that. Like just not looking unhealthy. I like a man who looks healthy, is fairly healthy. I'm 5'9". I like at least like 6'3", 6'4", or above.
Oh my God. 6'3", 6'4". She literally just canceled out 90%, maybe 95%. I would say 90% of all American men. And we're not even talking about the money. It's just the height. From the height alone, she just canceled out 90% of men in the US, maybe in the world. Because you never know, maybe some guy in Africa may look at her and be like, okay, I'll give her a chance. But she just canceled out 90% of the entire male population in the world. And we're not even talking about how much money she wants, because apparently 70,000 is too broke for her.
So you want the top tier guy.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, it is what it is. 7 figures or high 6 figures. Chocolate, at least 6'3".
Ah, it's
Why am I
crazy.
too picky?
So what?
Somebody said I'm too picky.
And
Well,
she's laughing.
you want the top tier guy. That's the top tier guy. It is what it is. That's what you say you want.
My only question would be, and I wish Kendra can, Kendra, I know you don't like when we react to your videos, but it is what it is. But I wish Kendra can start asking these ladies, okay, you want the top tier guy. What does it get in return? Like, give me a list. You have a list of things you want from a man, or what kind of man you want. Give us a list of tangible things that separate you from other women that he's going to get from you. Once Kendra starts asking that question, the number of women that call into her show is gonna drop like quick, because most of them won't have answers. They will just say, I'm the prize, I'm the full package. They have those bad buzzwords they use. They're like, I'm the best. They will say all those stupid things, but they won't have real tangible answers to that question. Anyway, guys, what do you guys think about that? Link down below to Kendra's G show. All right, next we're gonna go all the way to 8 at the table, talking about, pretty much the first video I looked at, how women are replacing weddings for single moms and pretty much divorce. You feel me? So, without further ado, let's go. Hold on. Wait. All right, let's go.
Not my problem.
I cannot stand when a woman is single and pregnant and she announces it online. There is no sign of the baby daddy. You're a grown ass woman alone in your maternity pictures. You can't even show who the man is, because most of the time the man is not even your goddamn man. And then here go everybody in the comments. Congratulations. Congratulations. For what? Why do we have these young girls and these women get pregnant in these terrible situations, and instead what we do is we celebrate with baby showers and gender reveals? And the reason why they make these baby showers such these huge deals is because there is no wedding. The baby shower has become the new substitute for a wedding. How are we going to get these girls to understand there's a consequence for their actions when we're throwing them a goddamn party? So many women are victims to their own stupidity.
Facts. Man, before they even go in, she was cooking. I forget her name. I think Six the Goddess. That's the lady who was talking, the one they're reacting to. She was cooking, and that's what I was pretty much talking about in the first video. It's like they celebrate being a single mom because other women let it happen. Other women celebrate it with them. Because you've never, if you guys want to be, if you guys want to be hated by women, if you see a woman put up a video of a baby shower and there's no man in the picture, just try to type in the comments, where is the father? Oh my God, she will probably block you. Because we are celebrating being a single mom more than weddings. And women are now saying they would rather be a single mom than be a wife, because to them, being a wife is slavery. They don't want to cook for the man. They don't want to clean. But it's like, you are going to cook and clean when you are a single mom. But if you have a man there, you guys can share your bills. They're like, no, I'd rather go 100% on the bills on my own rather than go 50-50 with a man. Obviously, the kids suffer in the end.
This is the best video you brought here, Alan. Encore, encore, encore.
I just want to know, is she their mama?
Is she what?
Is she?
She's like, why is she so involved?
Why is she so passionate about these women and the parties that they're getting? The baby showers, the gender
in the
reveals.
community. It's an issue in the community. Obviously, you see what I told you? The sisterhood. The sisterhood. I'm telling you, if women who have no kids, or if married women, or if women with sense start speaking up against women who celebrate being single moms, women like her wouldn't be able to talk a lot again. women wouldn't be lining up to become single moms. Because look at her being concerned about the messenger rather than the message. This is sad.
Whether she's a single mother or not, does she not need a fucking gender reveal? No, she doesn't, actually. But does she not need a baby shower for the baby that's coming? Is that rewarding her? Or does she not need the things
Well,
for the baby that is coming? To be honest, is she are the men supposed to be in the maternity shoots? Because I want myself just alone.
well, I think like since I've been here, I've been to like a lot of baby showers where it's everybody. It's like an adult party. It's not just like the women's thing. I don't know if it's like a New York thing or like a new school thing, or I really don't know.
We're black and nothing other than black. So do you know what white people do?
I'm just saying, y'all been making a whole bunch of statements on here just because y'all ain't seen shit. Like, just because you ain't seen it don't mean it don't exist.
I don't know.
So said Benjamin Campbell.
This is a thing. And yes, of course, we don't want to see like hundreds and hundreds of single mothers, you know, being created. Like, we don't want to see this.
Sounds like you do.
Something better for our people. But why is it so heavily everyone's business? Like, this girl is actually way too passionate for me.
It must be all over her.
Because
she should be worried about them eyebrows.
No, honestly, it's like you're on social media and you don't see a father in the maternity photo. So you're like, what the hell are we celebrating? Congratulations. Bitch, if you don't have a congratulations for the pregnant person, just keep it moving.
No, we can't keep it moving. Because if we celebrate women becoming single moms, what message are we sending to other women who have no kids yet? What message are we sending to other women who are thinking about marriage before having babies? What message are we sending to young girls, the daughters who are watching? Because best believe the young girls are looking at older women, looking at what they're doing. If you guys celebrate single mothers rather than celebrating people who are married, guess what the young girls are going to do? And for other women to attack a woman calling out single motherhood is crazy to me. They're probably going to call her a pick me. Now they're talking about her physical appearance rather than talking about the message. This is crazy.
Good question. But are men typically in maternity photos?
No, that's what I just said.
I'm just, it's really just a thought. Like, I don't know that men are in maternity photos.
I just feel like maybe he can get in like a few pictures, but I'm starting the photo shoot off by myself. And then you can like come in and we can take a couple together. But what?
Yeah, I don't really know that. Even married folks that I know, I don't really know that the men don't even be at the baby shower.
Because typically...
Because they have already broken up with their man by the time the baby shower comes. What don't you understand? The reason we see so many baby showers with only single moms and there's no dad or baby daddy in the father to be in the photos and the baby showers is because most of the times the woman has already broken up with the man. Are there times where the guy told her, I don't want the baby, don't keep the baby, and she said, no, I'm going to keep my baby? Sure. And you know why? That's because of women like you talking about she can be a single mom, she doesn't need a man. So she's more inclined to keep the baby even if the guy said he doesn't want to be a father yet because he knows he doesn't have the money to raise a baby. Am I saying he's right? No, but we are saying if we keep encouraging this, chances are the single mother rate is at 70%. Chances are in 10 and 20 years, the single mother rate is going to be at 90%. It was 20, 25, 30% in 1960.
How do you say? They're not supposed to be there, but traditionally
they're not.
Baby showers are for
all
women.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, I know.
Asking if it was like a new school thing,
but it's like traditionally men aren't supposed to be at the baby shower. It's supposed to be a woman thing.
I think that's just what it was. Because when I moved here, that's when I started seeing like dudes at the baby showers, like playing the doo-doo game and like the diaper game. My cousin and his wife had a baby shower, and it was like our entire family there. Like, our family and his wife's family, they were there. But I want to say like there probably was like my second mixed baby shower like ever in Houston. It's different up here, baby. people up here is different. But I think what Amanda is saying is like, how do we know that they are in fact a single mom?
Yeah, because you up on your phone on social media judging a situation you don't know anything about. I would not feel bad for celebrating that mother to be if she was going to be a single mother. She decided to have the baby. That's her decision. And first of all, just because the father isn't there at the baby shower, that doesn't mean that the father's not going to be present for the baby.
Right?
But he should be. So let's ask ourselves a question. If the father is going to be active in the baby's life, but he's not invited to the baby shower, is he really? I mean, think about it. You're saying he's going to be an active father, but he wasn't invited to the baby shower. How does that make sense? And this is a video you're going to show to the baby when the baby grows up. So you're going to tell the baby that, hey, listen, your father is a good father, but he refused to show up for the baby shower. Like, how does that make sense? You are already setting a bad example for the baby, because these babies are going to grow up into adults. And then they're going to see, oh, my father didn't come. Obviously, they're going to blame the dad. He refused to come. But we know most of the times, fathers don't even want to do these baby showers because they're expensive. Fathers are thinking about it like, let's save this money for when the baby comes, and the women are trying to throw baby showers to put on Instagram to show to other women like you, to put in the comments, oh my God, to throw a party to put on social media for everyone to see for attention. But most fathers are saying, hey, why are we spending this $5,000 into throwing a party when we could use this money once the baby comes, so we don't have to struggle when the baby is here? Most women don't listen because they want the attention from other women on Instagram.
What the hell is it for me to judge?
But Amanda, all these daddies say they want to be in their kids' lives. So of course the dad is around, right? Of course he's around. Because all these men are saying, I want to be in my kid's life. So why would we even assume that he's not around?
The title had me fucked up. Baby showers becoming a substitute for weddings. What? How?
I think she's saying
I understand because I heard the video. That the title is stupid because it's not a substitution. Those two celebrations are two different things. You're just mad that the baby showers are occurring based on what you feel.
I just feel like
No, it's because there's more baby showers than weddings. That was the message of the video. And you just proved a point because you are celebrating single moms rather than weddings. Let's see the number of baby showers before weddings tells you that people are choosing to have kids before marriage. That's the issue. And usually that means the father is not in the picture, especially if he's not part of the baby shower. Until we have more videos of weddings between black men and black women on IG, it's going to be an issue. That's all she's saying.
That's the real question, whatever it may be, because I really don't think that this is the question you want us to ask or you want us to answer.
You're looking at a baby shower. You see a pregnant woman. There's no man beside her. What the fuck is she celebrating? That's her message. And you're also agreeing. What the hell? This is crazy. Because if you like blah, blah, blah. That is the point. That is the point, because you don't see a man there supporting her. But even if she did have a man there supporting her for the baby shower, everything would be like, oh, nice. Oh, great, great, great. And then by the time the baby is born, they could be broken up anyway. What's the difference?
Think about it. 10 years ago, all baby shower pictures were just the women in her home girls. With no man there.
That was her problem, and I think that was stupid for her to bring it up, because you're making it seem like she's having this big party and this big celebration of her being a single mother, and that's not what the fuck it's about. Having a baby shower. Is she pregnant? Did she have kids? I don't know what the fuck going on with her, but she worried about what the fuck going on with everybody else on social media.
When she needs to be worried about them eyebrows.
Having a baby shower is fucking important when you're pregnant. She could be a single mother. She could be with a man. It does not matter.
Amanda,
It matters. What about the weddings? What about the two-parent households? I can't believe she's going this hard for being a single mom. I wish you could go this hard for women to get married before they carry. I wish, but for the love of me, I know it's the sisterhood. And the men are quiet because we know they don't even want to be a part of it. He's quiet, the other one is quiet because it's just sisterhood. It's like, if you're going to celebrate single moms like this, what about the weddings? What about the marriages? How about that?
I think that Alan believes that women who are going to, or who know that they're going to be single mothers, don't deserve baby shower.
Is that it?
Most people don't have money for a production. Alan, what are you talking about?
And most people don't throw their own baby shower.
Yeah.
Shame.
That's the thing. Most women, actually, it's just like your bridal shower. Alan says if the daddy not there, you don't deserve a baby shower. And you better put this on the clip. Because watch, Alan is going to not put it on the clip. He wants her to be shamed. Do it.
Shame.
No, the issue is it's the celebration. Like we are looking at being a single mom like a graduation of some sort. Like you just achieved a big dream. But it should be the marriage. It should be the marriage before you carry. It should be the ring. We should celebrate people getting married, keeping families close and together. We shouldn't be celebrating single mother households. Because at the end, for me, I've said this so many times, at the end, it's the kids that suffer. But anyway, man, shout out to Eight at the Table. This was really sad to watch. Which, I hadn't watched the full clip, so I was expecting the women to agree with the woman in the video, but I'm disappointed. But at the same time, I'm not really surprised because it's the sisterhood. They will celebrate single moms before they celebrate weddings. All right, link down below. All right, next let's go to Lapif. Okay.
To say that a large group of them women believe that they're the prize, so they don't even know anything about going to go gain access to a particular plethora of man or a class of man. If they're already predisposed to think that they're the prize.
If they're in an echo chamber all day hearing that they're tens and you don't have to adapt for a man, you let them come after you, then yeah, of course you're going to yield those results every time. And I think that's the main issue is that we talked about the communications, and women don't really care to listen to men. They don't want to believe what it is that men are telling them, and they're constantly reinforced that they are doing the right thing and the men are doing the wrong thing. But we've told these women on the panel, not in particular this show, but different panelists that have came on over and over and over again, that you're going to have to make some adjustments. And it does take humility, like you said, but most people aren't willing to because they feel like they're doing the right thing. They're not really trying to hear women are saying it. And I've mentioned the word competitive, and people will get extremely angry because I said the dating market is competitive. But women don't feel the need or have the humility to compete for men in a competitive market. If you won't compete in a field that's competitive, what result can you possibly get?
And it's crazy because women want men to compete for them, but they don't want to compete for men. Every woman feels she's special, and her dream guy, Prince Charming, all these terms they love to use, they believe her dream rich man is just going to find her the way she is. Whether she's overweight, whether she's rude, whether she's masculine, whether she's looking crazy, whether women believe that her Prince Charming will accept her even if he was walking on the street and found her fighting with a different woman, that in that moment her Prince Charming will understand the situation she's in and will forgive her and will love her forever and ever and ever after. But me as a guy, I know a potential wife or a potential woman who likes me, if she finds me in a crazy situation, being crazy and attacking people, she's going to look at me sideways. She's probably going to run away. But most women believe the Prince Charming, the man of their life, of their dreams, should be able to accept her the way she comes. Bad attitude, loud, ratchet, whatever situation, guys should just accept it. And men are saying hell to the fuck to the no.
Well, if when you turn 18, you had access to men that was your age, in their 20s, in their 30s, and in their 40s. And that primarily was offered to you specifically because of your biology and not something you had to earn. You've now had 12-year run of not having to work for attention that's naturally going to be granted to you. Anybody, if I was a woman, I'm sure my mindset would have been like very different than what it is as a man.
Wait.
So
Hold on.
I understand, like I get
gotta
and
expose
understand.
you.
I get and understand that.
I gotta expose you to something before you go there on the youth. We
Okay.
done did it many times, but I'm gonna let the women question you on this.
Okay.
Because when you talk about a woman becoming 18 and
Mhm.
having access to different brackets, age groups of men because of her biological position, her youth, and all these other stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can debunk it or you're gonna actually substantiate it, maybe. But
Okay.
there's this frontal lobe argument.
Mhm.
You heard of it? I
Yeah.
don't need to say nothing more, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, this regardless of the development of the frontal lobe and who's develops faster and all this other stuff, I guess the main point I was trying to bring up is you typically had a run that your 18-year-old male counterpart didn't. He has to build up his value. So if the 18-year-old man effectively has very little to offer most single women. So he has to learn what women want and obtain it and become it. By default, a woman who's getting the attention up front because her value is up front, if you are a poor mate selector, by the time you've gotten to 30, 32, 35, 40 plus, a woman that refuses to adjust to the type of man that she wants is effectively the equivalent of a male incel.
Facts. Because as men, we know women love money. Women love a provider. So as a man, I'm going to be honest, because as men, you have two choices. Either you work hard and, improve your money, increase your earning potential to make more money so you can be a provider when you finally find the woman you want, or you can stay the way you are and then be okay with the fact that most women I'm not probably going to give a chance. As men, we understand that fact. So we are not delusional. You're not going to find a homeless man talking about he wants to date Rihanna, but you can definitely find a homeless woman talking about that she only wants to date men who are like Jay-Z. That is the truth. And that's all he's trying to say. But women, they believe that they deserve, like, it doesn't matter. They believe they all deserve. That's why I've always said that women are so lucky, because can you imagine from the time you are 18 years old to all the way you're 40, maybe 50, all the way till she dies, she has plenty of men approaching her. And you're telling me you couldn't find one single man for you to be with in all those years, for 30, 40 years? You could not find one single good man. Oh my God.
Involuntary celibate. Involuntary celibate is a male that can't get access to women and he refuses to do something about it. So that loser over there to the left, that guy that's not, that no woman's checking for, and he's refusing to put the work in to adjust to the market of what women's expectations are so that he can get not only the caliber of woman that he wants, but access to women, period. Because you're a woman by default, you're going to get attention from the 400-pound life, when you 400, 500-pound life, where them people be on the show and they got to tear down the door to carry them out. All them big women was never single. There was still a man in there. So you getting access to a man is not a flex. You getting access to the man that you want is the challenge. So if you can't do that as a woman that's been getting access to men since 18,
you failed.
You are the equivalent to that.
Facts.
So until you're willing to make that adjustment, that's why your outcome is what it is.
Yeah, but they have been taught what men should do for them. I kid you not. The more beautiful, the prettier a woman is, the less she cares about what to do for a man. Because most guys are literally begging to do things for her. If I was a woman, a very beautiful woman, I'm gonna be honest, I would probably be the same way. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I know you guys think I just criticize women, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to play devil's advocate for the ladies. If I was a very pretty woman, I probably wouldn't give a shit what men want. Because most men are probably going to be begging to do shit for me. So, of course, if a woman is at 18, has all these men throwing themselves at her, she's never going to care what men want. Especially what even the guy she really wants. Because she may have thousands of guys approaching her, but in a span of 20 years, she may only really want maybe 10. But the 10 guys she wants, she doesn't know what those guys want from a woman. So, and she never learned, obviously, because she grew up in a single mother household. So she didn't see what the mom would have done for the father or for the husband. So she didn't see that dynamic, right? That's already a loss, right? So when is she ever going to learn what men want? Some women finally learn when it's too late, when they're 40, 45, 50, whatever the age bracket. But by that time, it's kind of too late. So I understand why women don't really know what men want and they don't care. Now, obviously, now that men are talking to them, they should learn. But they even now they refuse to listen to us. They call a man sassy if he has standards.
I'll never have men or women come into my office and they walk out thinking society and the world has to change so that I can live life. You have to point the greatest success you can make is to make it your responsibility, even if it's not. If it went wrong, there's something I have to do different. In my marriage, in my kids, in my friendships, in my relationship, the onus is on me.
So let me
Yeah, go ahead.
let me test your logic real quick on that. It's gonna be
Uh-huh.
really quick. Are you saying that if a woman desires a man that prefers or require a woman to be 140 pounds, but she's 200, are you saying on the record that she need to go lose weight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hold on. If this is the man she wants,
yeah, I know. I agree with you. I just wanted to go on the record.
Yeah, because only in America can we say only America can we say the type of job and salary that we want, but we don't want to have to show up for the interview and want to show up late and make
You
our
gotta
own
work for it.
rules. Everywhere else in your life, if you wanted the degree, how many credits did you have to take? How many classes did you have to do?
Mhm.
You wanted that job? How many interviews did you have to go through? What's the uniform? How many times do you have to be in the office? Everywhere else in your life, there are steps and protocols and things that will lead you to the outcome you want. But then when it comes to the man that you want there to be no rules.
Look at their faces. Honestly, I can bet $1,000 they don't give a shit. Now, I think she's married. She's the only one I know that claims she's married. Maybe she is. But the rest of them are probably just single or maybe dating. But I can guarantee you they don't care. Which, like I said, I do understand because for years, for decades, they have had men throw. Because all these women are pretty good looking. They're okay looking. You know, I mean, I'm a good looking dude, but I think, you know, I'm not gonna be like a woman and think that I'm be delusional and think that, you know, none of them qualify for me. So they're pretty good looking sisters. But my point is, even if they are, you may think they're average looking, there's plenty of men who want them, who beg. Now it doesn't mean they want those guys, but I'm just saying the point is that inflates their sense of what they deserve. It makes them delusional on the type of guy they want. So if they have 20 guys who are begging and pleading and willing to spend money on them, but they don't want those 20 guys, but there's Boogie here who they want, and Boogie is not even begging, they're gonna think, since all these guys are begging me, Boogie should also do whatever I want. And Boogie's gonna be like, no, you're gonna have to cook. And she's gonna be like, no, I don't cook for no man. And Boogie's like, okay, if you're not gonna cook, I'm not gonna give you a ring. You know, and then she's wondering, how come all these guys are begging me that, but this guy Boogie that I want is really not doing what I want. And Boogie's like, bitch, I got plenty of you. Like, you better do what I want.
Take me as I am. The
But
take me as I am men are the men that nobody else wants.
Facts.
So I know this might be a little bit off the direction that you're going.
Yeah.
But what is your thoughts on the panderer phenomenon? And I've been trying to study it right now. But in terms of how are these people that get behind the microphone and pander able to captivate such a large audience so consistent
Mhm.
whenever that large audience can go and look at the facts and see that this guy is playing on your feelings and
Mhm.
still turn you into a paying client.
Because when you lie, women buy. So women don't care if you're lying. They only care that what you say makes them feel some kind of way and doesn't hold them accountable. If you want to make money, don't hold women accountable. Like if I was on this mic, because for me, I hold both men accountable and women accountable. Maybe more so women, because majority of my watchers are men, but I hold both people accountable. So, but if I really wanted to make money, I'll be like Derek Jackson. If you guys know who Derek Jackson is, even when he was cheating on his woman, on his wife, women found out. But to this day, he still makes thousands of dollars because he still says things women like to hear. If this guy was saying the exact things he's saying about women, but you know the opposite way, things that sugar spice everything nice about women, they would be smiling. But look at this half face because he's holding them accountable. Look at their faces. They don't like it. They don't like it.
Well, because advertisers know that it's easier to sell to women and children.
Facts.
So if advertisers know that, people that want to get on these platforms know that as well. So if you know that I think it's like 80% of the consumer debt is women. They know they'll spend the money. They know that they'll be on social media. And they know they would love to jump into somebody telling them what they want to hear, even if it's not true. They know that. My argument is to put women on game to what's going on.
They don't care,
If
unfortunately.
everything that's coming out of a man's mouth makes you feel good,
That's an
you
issue.
should be running.
Yeah, but they don't care.
Unless you think you're perfect. Unless you think you're perfect and there's nothing to change, at some point you should hear something that kind of pricks you. I'm like, oh,
I agree with him, but because I know women to an extent, I'm going to disagree with him. And this is why. They know they're not perfect. They know they have things to work on. But again, it goes back to the fact that because they, even in the situation they're in, whether overweight, rude, loud, ratchet, ghetto, mom of five from five different guys, even in all those situations. So this is why I'm going to blame the men. They still have men who beg to spend money on them, who beg to do all these things for them. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to take them serious, but because even the worst of situations, even homeless women have men who beg to be with them. Think about that for a second. So in this instance, I have to blame the men because the men give them the false sense of entitlement, of delusion. They give them the delusion that they deserve a billionaire even when they ain't shit. So at that point, it's the man's fault because they know they're not perfect. They know they have things to work on, but the reason they keep asking for men to take them the way they are, a real man who accepts my 5 kids, is because there are men in the picture who are dying to be stepfathers to those 5 kids. So she's like, fuck that. I deserve a millionaire to be the stepfather of my kids. From the Pookies who are not millionaires. Anyway, shout out to Lapeef, man. This guy was cooking. What do you guys think about that? All right, next, we're going to go all the way to 8 at the table. They're talking about why women these days are sleeping around. You feel me? So, without further ado, let me just play this one time. Hold on.
Like, would you ever do a story about polygamy? But being the woman who has
who dabbled in it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you dabble? Yeah. How is that? Amazing. Oh, amazing. But
Neil
I'll tell
out here
you,
stealing your thunder though. Neil think he the guy now.
well, listen. He can have the thunder because he's there for a whole different reason. Let me say this since we're bringing it up. My space in it, honestly, is because since I've been exposed to different cultures, and different religious and spirit practices around the world. My thing is, I haven't found a lot of men in America who um, who are really appealing to me spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally. So my thing is, I've got the athlete that I hang out with, I've got the spirit that I pray with, I've got the person that's adventurous that I travel with. So it's more lifestyle than it is the sexual connection for me. Now, my heart and my soul is actually monogamous because I can't find
What
that.
the fuck?
I don't stop. Was me trying monogamy again, and a large part of me was bored.
I'm praying too. When you do all of this stuff,
Whoever she believes in.
who is it? Because I want more information surrounding that. She's monogamous in her soul, but she getting a train ran off for her 50th, bragging about it. Now she's 62, into this polyamory, but tried a monogamous relationship, but she was bored. That's why you're bored.
And she said she went out the country to find a man to align with her spiritually because there wasn't here an African American. But yeah, you couldn't find an African American somewhere else who can travel and align with you spiritually.
So I think the monogamous in her soul, I think that is her saying she wished she could find that one person to do everything with. Like that's what she really, really wants. So I think that's what she meant by monogamous to her soul. Like she yearns for that. I don't take that away from her. So
like an open relationship, you're saying?
No.
No. She wishes she could find a man who can fit all the criteria that she has for a man. A man who could tick off all the boxes. Because the ladies usually have like a list of 1,000 things they want in a man. They want him to be tall. They want him to be rich. They want him to be funny. They want him to be emotionally available. They want him to be loyal. He can't cheat, but he should be able to listen to her problems. They want him to act like her girlfriend. They want a man to cook for her. Like they want him to bring flowers to call her. So they want one man to fit all these criteria. And honestly, I think one of the reasons they can't stay with one man is because they realize they can't find all those things they want in one man. So what they do, they'll have the rich guy. He may be boring, but they'll have the Pookie here who gives her the emotional roller coaster, and then they'll have the guy who's the Uber guy because he gives her free rides, and they have the guy with the dick because he gives her some nice sex, and then they'll have the guy who flies her out because he likes to spend money on her. So they'll have several guys who fit different criteria because they can't have everything in one man.
No, she wished she had one person to travel with, pray with, do all these things that she says she has different guys for. But she hasn't been able to find that, so that's why
because she's had too many experiences that trumped the next. And when the bar is set so high in all these different areas, the likelihood of any one person checking them all off is so low. That's why there's a piece of you that should not have exposure to certain things, right? And
piece is that?
I mean, like if you're trying to get monogamous, you shouldn't have exposure to hundreds of partners. You shouldn't have exposure to so many different types of. I don't want to say spirit because spiritual can kind of be tricky depending on what you can learn and lean towards and what you align with. But when you have, like, for example, in her case, so many different experiences and so much exposure in different areas, and this guy might be able to pray with you better over here, and this guy may be able to fuck you better over here, and this guy might be able to travel with you over here, and this guy's an athlete, so he's just, has more stamina than all the rest. Now you're sitting here looking at yourself, and you're like, I don't know who to pick because one is better in one area than the other. Now,
Yeah, that usually happens, when they have so many different men. Because she's going to date Boogie. I'm going to take her to Wendy's. I'm going to take her to McDonald's. And then she's going to date the next guy who's going to take her to Ruth Chris and a 5-star restaurant. But usually after the 5-star restaurant guy, she's going to find it very hard to go back to a guy like Boogie who's going to take her to McDonald's. Because she's going to think, since one time I dated a guy who was taking me to expensive dinner dates, that's my new standard. So every time you hear a woman talking about, I know my worth now, usually that means she has either dated met or wants to meet a man who's going to take her to the next level. Usually they talk about the next level. Usually a man who's willing to take her to all these expensive, luxurious lifestyle type of activities. So she finds it very hard to come back to the average guy.
I don't even know which area. That's the crazy part. She doesn't even know which area matters most to her.
Mm-hmm.
But she can't even decide and pick
She
one.
wants it all.
See,
The travel one.
I didn't get that from her, and I'm sorry. She kind of put me on her side with this because realistically, I think when we get into a relationship with somebody, we do remember our past, regardless of we want the same thing from our past. But we're not.
compare.
Nobody on this panel is with somebody that is everything that they want.
That's
Sorry.
called gluttony.
You can call it whatever the fuck you want.
How's it gluttony?
Let's just
Because
call
it's
it
greed.
Okay.
How?
Because you want everything, but
Yeah.
everything is not possible.
Well, you just said that she's having issues being monogamous because
She's had too much experience.
she wants
Yes.
these things. But what I guess what's wrong with desiring your person to be able to? Because I think most people do desire that.
But they don't speak.
Yeah, but no one is perfect. I don't care how you even if you're a man, you want her to have a big booty, you want her to be submissive, you want her to be able to cook for you, you want her to be able to not argue with you, you don't want her to be a headache, you want her to respect you. Like you're never gonna meet a woman as a man who fits all those criteria. Especially as a man, because men have to approach. Now, if you're like Chris Brown or Drake, sure, I guess you can have those high standards because you have plenty of women who want you. But as an average guy, you can't have those crazy standards. So, because at some point, you're going to realize you're never going to find a perfect woman. So as men, we know we can't find a perfect woman. We have to get, you get what you can get and you have to settle. But as the ladies, they claim they don't want to settle because they want all these things in one guy. They pretty much want a perfect guy, the one they saw in the Disney movies, and it's never going to happen. But they keep wishing and hoping. Every 5 years, they think they deserve a better guy. They deserve a better guy than they wanted at 30. They become 40, they want a better guy. They wanted, it gets worse. But it's like, you're never going to find a perfect guy.
About it.
Well, I spoke
and
with
then
Marie.
you go home and you pretend that this woman is everything, and you sitting there lying to her, and she's lying to you. She's lying to you to fucking feed your ego when she's been with a bunch of other dudes and you ain't it.
Right.
I spoke to Marie about this, and I said we were actually having a conversation about like what is a person's biggest downfall, and I told her my opinion is desire is a person's biggest downfall, because when you desire something too much, it can actually lead you astray from actually what keeps you grounded. So, for example, it's okay to live without, and I think that's what we got to start to normalize. It's okay to live without the experience of traveling all over the world. Maybe you just travel 1 or 2, 3 countries. It's okay to live without the experience of having the most magnificent sexual experience to the point where you have to go get a train ran on you for your 50th, right? It's okay to live without some of these different experiences, but everybody has the FOMO, and that's actually deteriorating their soul, their morals, and literally putting them in a position where they're forced to accept a life that they do not want, such as her saying she's monogamous in her soul, but she can't find the balance within it to accept that discipline that it requires to be monogamous.
So you heard that she didn't like her life?
I heard that she.
Actually,
I heard that she.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, like she.
I didn't.
Because if you say I'm monogamous in my soul, then you ultimately desire monogamy, but she can't get it.
I think
But
that
she
she
explained.
desires it because of her age, and that's what we have been traditionally taught to desire, but it goes against what she really wants.
I disagree with that, because if she desired it for her age, she would have changed for her age. I think what actually happens is she desires something that she knows she doesn't qualify for. And because she knows she doesn't qualify for it, it's better for her to just accept her fate and live the way that she's living now than trying to reprogram somebody else to believe that she isn't what she is, even including herself.
What do you mean? What doesn't she qualify for?
Like she may not qualify for the tall guy who's rich, who's gonna take on different trips, who's a sweet guy, who's gonna buy her flowers, who has good dick, who's like, she may not qualify for the guy who has all those different standards that she may have on her list. Because even at her age, I'm sure her standards are still crazy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, some women may grow out of it, But I guess as we can see, most women don't, because they will die thinking rather than be with a normal guy who's respectful. Maybe he's not going to take me to 3 trips a year, but we're gonna have a good time at the beach. They would rather die alone, believing and waiting on God to send them the Prince Charming who's gonna tick off all the boxes because they don't want to settle. Anyway, man, shout out to 8 at the table. What do you guys think about that? Link down below. Until next time, peace.